Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. This is Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Clayton. Please like and subscribe to Uneducated Sports Talk and Uneducated Network, both channels on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. That being said, guys, our AFC and NFC matchups for Week 17 have all wrapped up. We're going to recap them one by one. We're going to start off with the NFC at first. And then my next episode, we'll talk about the AFC, so be ready for that. After this episode, go straight to the AFC recap. So let's start with the NFC. Week 17, we had basically 4 major games on the docket that had playoff implications, and they did not disappoint. Let's start with the Cardinals and the Seahawks. The Seahawks, plain and simple, win, and you're in the number 5 seed. Get in and lose, you're probably the number 6 seed because of certain situations. Here's what happened. I said in my last episode, the reason why Seattle was going to play hard because they won't tell you that, but I'll tell you. They would rather face the Dallas Cowboys in a dome scenario than to go to Chicago where it might be 13 degrees out there. I've been to Chicago. I've been there, done that. It gets cold in January. I'm telling you guys. Seattle would rather be in the comfy confines of the AT&T Stadium than in the Chicago Stadium. What happened was they would have lost and say the Vikings lose and the Eagles lose. Well, guess what? You're going to Chicago. But if you just win, you're going to Dallas. So they had a lot to play for, and they faced a game Arizona Cardinals team. Seattle wins 24-21, but no thanks to their special teams. They had blunders on the punt, on kickoffs and on punting all game long. A couple block punts would put Arizona in great position. Arizona played like they were a team that did not want to lose. And you're like, why wouldn't you lose? If you lose, you get the number 1 overall seed. But you got to understand it is football. Guys are not just playing for right now, they're playing for the future as well. That's why teams, every week, all 17 weeks, no matter what your record is, they're going to come out there and they're going to play. And this team had a chance to play spoiler to Seattle. But Russell Wilson and gang and that running game, Chris Carson, over 100 yards, another touchdown. Chris Carson over the last 3 weeks, he's been balling. So that running game with Mike Davis, Chris Carson, they got like 20 guys. Rashard Penny's been out for a while, but they got Kasicki, those guys, and Russell Wilson, who can make things happen on the ground. They're going to be a scary, scary team in the playoffs. I cannot wait. They clinched the number 5 seed by beating the Arizona Cardinals. They will face Dallas Cowboys next week, and they'll be playing Saturday night. So we'll talk about that game in just a moment, man. So congratulations to Seattle. They already clinched last week, but now they are for sure the number 5 seed. Dallas had nothing to play for either, but they still get a victory over the Giants. That's a great momentum run for Dallas. On a short note, their game didn't have any playoff implications, but they played all their starters except for Zeke and I think offensive lineman. But they want to stay humble, stay ready, stay big momentum. So both teams are going in with great momentum, and it's going to be a great game. Might be the best game of the weekend. Next game, the 49ers at the Rams. Rams, look, simple. You win, and you have a bye week. You lose, and you might be the number 3 seed. They did not want to have none of that going there. 49ers, I thought would make it a better game earlier than what it was. A lot of self-inflicted wounds to begin the game, and you find yourself down 21-0 like that because if you give I don't care how the Rams are struggling, but if you give them chances beyond their own 50-yard line, they're going to score points. And that's exactly what they did. A couple of interceptions that lead to touchdowns, and all of a sudden you're down 21-0 against the Rams in L.A. It's not about to happen. You're not going to come back. But they made it interesting. They kept playing for all fantasy owners like myself. Yes, I was rocking with Bourne, receiver number 84 for the 49ers, and he came through in the clutch for my fantasy. Yes, in one of my leagues, I did win my championship, so I'm happy about that. It's called Shut Up and Tackle. So I am the champ for that, but Bourne was a big part. So fantasy owners, that's why you play the game. You just never know what's going to happen. Rams win 48-32, put up hella points. C.J. Anderson, another big game of 132 yards rushing, touchdown, and he balled out for the last 2 weeks. So, hey, if Gurley's going to be ready for the divisional round, but you got a great backup in C.J. Anderson. That's a just-in-case scenario. On another cool note, George Kittle, the tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, at the end, he needed about 4 yards. He took that 4 yards and made it to 41 yards for a touchdown to break the single-season tight end receiving yard record. He beat Travis Kelce, who broke it earlier today. But he got 1,377 reception yards from a tight end position. That's awesome for George Kittle. So the Rams are your number 2 seed, and they will have the bye week with the New Orleans Saints. That's the number 1 seed. It's going to be awesome because they better get ready because Chicago Bears are looming. Chicago Bears, during the Rams beat down of the 49ers, it was 21-0. The coach staff, I'm pretty sure the Bears knew. But here's something different. And this is why I love, over the last, it's been maybe 5-6 years now, they put in the divisional games at the end. I love that. I love it. And here's why. Minnesota could have taken advantage of, say, if Chicago Bears would have sat Mr. Trubisky or sat their defense. And then the Vikings go ahead and win. Well, guess what? Guess what you've seen in the first round of the playoffs? The Minnesota Vikings, who just came off a victory. One, it's a divisional opponent. 2, it's tough to beat anybody 3 times. I mean, unless you're the Saints beating the Panthers 3 times last year. But it rarely happens. It doesn't happen a lot. So why would you want to risk seeing your own division rivals and you're trying to prove a point that, hey, the NFC North is going through us now, period. Let's knock these guys out. And not only knock them out, but, they put a beat down on the Vikings 24-10. At one point, the Vikings went almost a whole entire half without a first down, the first half. Minnesota, $84 million. That's the number that you're going to hear for the rest of the offseason. They're going to reevaluate. Is Kirk Cousins even the guy for us? Because all the weapons we had, and even though our defense had a down year, we were still a top 10 defense. That should be playoffs and then some for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was not that guy. It was a risk reward. That being said, you took your chances. He's a young guy, but there's a reason why he was young and on the market. The Redskins knew we did not want to go down this road with Kirk Cousins. You guys can have him. $84 million, and you don't even make the playoffs. That is tough. A lot of games, he didn't come through at the end. A lot of games, they had a chance to win, but he didn't come through. And that's all. That's all it is. Case Keenum, yes, Kirk Cousins is better than Case Keenum, but not by that much, probably about that much. And that made the difference between that Vikings defense being this good and then that good. So Vikings still a top 10 defense, but Kirk Cousins just doesn't get it done. The Bears in Minnesota, you paid them $84 million for games like this game. Not those other games, but games like this. This is a must-win. It's on the quarterback. We don't trust Case Keenum in the situation, but we do trust you, Kirk Cousins, and you do not come through. $84 million guaranteed for the next 3 years. They're going to reevaluate themselves, but Kirk Cousins will be the starter, I guarantee you, for next year. But, boy, the Vikings got a lot of questions to ask. You go all the way down in Minnesota to win and you're in. It doesn't happen. But the Bears, the rivalry, that's what it's all about. We are the big dogs of the NFC North now. The Green Bay laid a big egg, literally a 0 against the Lions. We're not worried about those 2 teams. Minnesota, you want to come beat us down? We'll come into your place and beat you down and take you out the playoffs. Even though we knew we were getting the number 3 seed. We knew we had no bye week as soon as the first quarter was over with. But guess what? We know this. We know that we're going to show our dominance over the division, and they're going to dominate the division for the next 10 years. Minnesota Vikings, they are out. Could the Eagles take advantage? Eagles at the Redskins. And it's basically Vikings lose, Eagles win, Eagles are in, right? That's exactly what happened. Not only did they win, but they dominated. I do feel bad for Josh Johnson because Josh Johnson, is a decent quarterback, but man, his situation is tough. Basically, with your kids, to the next day, you're in the Redskins trying to play quarterback in a tough division in the NFC East. And the Eagles put it on them 24-0. The Redskins had a total of 89 total yards. First time Philadelphia's blanked the Redskins since 1980. It tells you that rivalry goes a long way. But Eagles won, and they looked at the scoreboard, and they knew that the Bears had won as well. The Vikings lost. They are in the playoffs, and they are going to be scary. If there was a team I thought that can go into Chicago and beat Chicago, it's Philly, because Philly can play in that cold weather, and they can play that kind of style. So I'm geeked up, really geeked up to see this game. Let's talk about what I'm most excited for the NFC side of the bracket. The one thing I want to watch for is that Chicago's Bears defense. I did say the only team, the one of the wild card teams that can go in Chicago and win is the Eagles. But I think that Bears defense is for real and they're ferocious. And it's nothing like confidence. When you got confidence in a defense, it can take you from a great level to an all-time high level. And I think this Bears defense is when they'll play against Eagles and they can carry that momentum probably into LA. You never know, but I am super excited for this Bears defense, and that's what I'm most excited to see in the NFC. Let's break down the schedules. The Saturday night game is Dallas at Seattle. That is going to be an awesome game. Might be the game of the week. Both of these two teams, they have a run game. They have good to great quarterbacks. I'm not saying Dak is great, but Dak is very good when it comes down to clutch situations. And his last playoff visit, he almost beat Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers and should have beat them if it wasn't for that dumb catch rule. So, hey, he's clutch. Russell Wilson is that much more clutch than him. So I'm excited for this matchup. Like I said, the game of the week probably for those guys. And then, of course, the Sunday afternoon game is going to be Chicago versus Philadelphia in Soldier Field. It's going to be a grinded out, tough, hardcore, hitting hard kind of game. My kind of game that I like. I won't give you my answers, but check out in the next couple of days or a day or two from now, we're going to have our NFC playoff preview, and I give you my winners, and I give you who's going where. So we'll break all that down. I was correct on my predictions a couple of days ago about who's going to the playoffs. So that being said, hey, it's going to be a great NFC playoff. I cannot wait. Dallas versus Seattle Saturday night, and then Chicago versus Philadelphia. That is Sunday afternoon. Be ready for that, where Dallas and Chicago play host to their opponents, man. So I'm excited. That being said, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Sports Talk to see my show all the time. That being said, all sports fans, you guys know what time it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace, and be ready for the AFC Week 17 recap coming right now. Peace.